Hi there, Machedo. Speaking to you from Machedo.com, who's Machedo and Think Personal Branding. The date is 27th December 2017. Time right now is 3:46. All right, it's 3:46 in the morning, rather night. I just woke up at 2 o'clock here, 2:30, because I slept a little early. I just wanted to kind of have my creative space, and this is what I do when there are days when I just want to wake up in the middle of the night and go creative. What I wanted to address today through this video was I get a lot of these youngsters who write to me, and they kind of share this problem that they have, especially where emotions and feelings are concerned. It's not very uncommon for me to receive an email or a message from some 16-year-old. Sorry, wait, let me make sure that my screen doesn't go on mute. It's not very uncommon for me to receive an email from a youngster who says that, "Hi, Loy, I'm a 16-year-old, I'm in love with this guy, or I have this girl who's my girlfriend." They ask questions, "Lloyd, do you think it's okay to have sex?" They even ask advice, like, "My girlfriend is planning to break up with me. I can't study. I can't focus. What do I do?" And then there are these emotional upheavals that you have where the girl or the guy actually says, "My girlfriend or boyfriend is breaking up with me, and I really want to suicide, or I'm in depression." Now, I just thought I'll address these issues about emotional feelings, these college romance, so to speak. Now, what I want you to keep in mind is I'm 40 years old, 40. Okay. Now, I have been through the phase that you have been through. Now, obviously, I've not been through the unique experience that you have, but I've been through the process that you have gone through, or you're going through right now. I was, once upon a time, I was 15 years old. I was 16 years old. Changes started to appear on my body. I never had facial hair. I started to get facial hair. For the boys, I'm talking about, my voice was very squeaky, and then it started to change, and I started to feel funny. I started to get body odor, which was not there. I started to get hair under my arms, which was not there, in my pubic region. And I was like, "Oh, what is happening?" And it was all disgusting, yuck. So I went through all this. And then I think one of the biggest changes I started to feel was I always liked girls, but I started to like girls even more. I mean, the attraction was there even more. I started to be curious about sex. I had these stints where girls would kiss me. Girls in my building would just sit at the side. They would kiss me to feel nice. I would kiss them, and we would experiment all these games like Doctor, Doctor, and she checking me, and she being my wife, or she being I being the husband. We would play all these games, and I obviously, deep down, it was like, "Oh, we're doing something, we're having fun." But we knew something was wrong because obviously we never shared it with our parents. So from there, from doing all these things to actually dating, to going, "Okay, let's meet up near Pizza Hut or Hardee's or KFC, or an outlet, or we'll go in a shopping mall, or we would come with 2, 3 guys. Cap would be this way, shirt would be open, there would be a black shirt inside. We would try to look hip and cool, and we would wear these jeans and shoes, and the girls would try to look really sexy. They would try to dress up as if they were, instead of 14 years old, those girls would dress up like they were, those days it was, Britney Spears or something like that. Not my time, but they would try to dress up cool. They try to look sexy. They'd put lipstick and makeup and try to look cool, hairband here. So, and then, me, I would come with my guy friends, and she would come with her girlfriends, and Once we would meet, then we both would separate and the groups would separate. So we would spend time together. So done all these things, and then when you move to an advanced level, we would write letters to each other. We would send messages to each other. We would dedicate love songs. We would have a love song from a video, and oh, this song reminds me of you, and you'd listen to it and think of that person. Um, Also went through the phase where meet her down the building. She would come down to buy groceries or something, and she would come down. We would just exchange a kiss, or we would hide behind the stairs and smooch each other, touch each other a little bit, feel good. When parents would go out, then this was the next one. Parents would go out. I'd go to their house, and we would, obviously have a little bit of sex, not actually penetration, but just, like, I think the youngsters nowadays call it first base or second base or third base. I keep getting all these different levels. From there, yeah, obviously you'd get caught. The parents are smarter. We think the parents are not smart. We think we are smarter than the parents, at least. When I was of that age, I thought I was smarter than the parents. But the parents eventually suspect and they catch you red-handed, and that's where the problem. You get grounded. Then you do it in school. The parents are aware of it. They know that, oh, okay, my child is growing up. I can't stop it, but I can prevent it. So you bunk school, and then you write, and obviously this kiddish stuff where you cut yourself in a little bit of blood, and you say, "Oh, I love you with my blood." And I remember, the letters with the blood, and "Oh, I love you so much. I write with my blood," and all that stuff. And so, been there, done all that. Okay, this is at 16, 17, and obviously, see, the reason why you feel it is very intense is because you're going through this for the first time or the second time. It's new. It's not something that you've experienced before. Having someone who you feel is special, knowing that there is someone exclusively meant for you, feeling the sense of this is someone who is special to me, and I'm special to this person. So it feels nice. It really does feel nice, and we want this to last forever. We start planning out, okay, I'll run away from home, and or I'll be with you forever. We plan out the future. We plan out marriage. We even have these private, intimate conversations of sex. I want to do this with you. I want to do that with you. And then you have the emotional movies playing around in the background. You have these thoughts. You have these feelings that are invested. You invest yourself into all this. And it goes on for some time. It goes on for some time until something happens. Either you don't like each other, or the intensity is not the same, or starts liking another guy, or another guy starts getting attracted to her, or you start getting distracted with another girl, or then you realize, I don't want to be with this girl only. I kind of like this girl also. And then there is always that drama that comes in between. So you're with this person, and this person is giving you the signal. Now you start liking her also, and that's where complications come in. And then she finds out you cheated on her, or you find out she's cheating on you. Now, obviously, because you felt you had a kind of right over her, she belonged to you. So you could shout at her, you could scream at her, you could hit her, you could, because she's yours, she's your pet, she's your girlfriend, she's yours. You feel that she belongs to me. This is my right, and it's a violation. It's a violation of my space, my privacy, and she also feels the same. And then if she finds out another girl liked you or wrote to you, she'll go and fight with that girl, and she'll use her groups. So these kind of dramas, and the funny thing is, this is actually what happens in the real world. This is what happens as you grow up. Okay, so and then in all this drama that is happening, where you're invested into this relationship and these feelings, I think the biggest challenge comes is you have your studies, you have your priorities. That is, your parents are sending you to school for study. Your parents are sending you to college to study. Your parents are not sending you to college to, have this affair, have this relationship. But Obviously, because you're a youngster, this is part and parcel of your life. However, this emotional investment is much more intense than a one-dimensional or two-dimensional feeling towards a book. Obviously, you don't feel sexual towards a book. You don't feel that intensity towards studying. And that's why the problem actually takes place. I'll tell you, that's why the problem takes place, because now what is happening is you are more focused on the relationship, on this person, rather than on studies. And it always happens in a relationship, boy and girl. One of them likes the other, or loves the other more than the studies or the work and anything else. And that's where the problem takes place. That is where you stop focusing on your studies and you start focusing more on the relationship, and that is where the red flags are up and the parents are worried. Now, what I want you to understand is, for you youngsters, is I understand, and we adults understand that you're going through all this intensity. It's not that we don't understand. Obviously, we don't know how you're feeling, but we know the feeling because you've been there. Now, here are a couple of things I want you to keep in mind. Okay, I want you to keep this in mind. Now, you're 16. You obviously do not know how life is when you're 26. You obviously do not know how life is when you're 36, 46, 56. You don't know because you've not been there. You've just been from here to here. No, this much you do not know. So I'm speaking to you from a vantage of from here to here. I've done all the crazy things you have done. I have cut my, I don't know where I cut some places here and there. I wrote letters with blood. I went to have sex with a girl when my parents were out, got caught red-handed many times, have made major decisions in life where I decided I will leave, once again, where I decided I will leave my education and pursue the girl. I ran away from home because I couldn't be with the girl who I loved. I wanted to have a future with her, so to build the future. I got dumped many times. I got heartbroken many times. I even, and I'll tell you, this problem didn't stop at 16 or 17. It continued all the way till different relationships, all the way to, 40, even now. Okay, now I'm married, fourth. I tattooed the girl's face here. Never do that. Never write a tattoo the name of your lover. Never do that. Okay? Don't cut yourself and all that shit. Now, I want you to keep one thing in mind, okay? Whether you like it or not, whether you agree with me or not, I'm going to tell you this. You will break up. Trust me, you will break up. That is guaranteed. I can assure you, you will break up. Okay? And if you break up, that is the best thing that can ever happen to you. I can assure you, I can guarantee you, I can tell this without a doubt. If you break up with your lover, that is the best thing that can happen to you, because then you'll get a choice to have a new person in your life. Now, this might sound very rude, but it's like you have, the iPhone, you have the first iPhone, then you have the iPhone 4, then you have the iPhone 5, the iPhone 6, then the iPhone 7, the iPhone 8, the iPhone 10. So every time you choose a new phone, you try to make sure it's better than the previous one. In the same way, when you choose your lover, when you choose your partner, it will be much better than the previous one. That comes with experience. And obviously, you as a person, you don't know yourself. You come to know yourself more and more, because here's the thing. When you're with your parents, you don't have the explicit freedom to do whatever you like. So as you move ahead with time, you'll make better choices emotionally. You'll make better choices financially. You'll make better choices realistically, So as you get freedom, you become more better at it. You obviously start earning more money. You start having more options. You can travel around the world. You can, before you're meeting only a girl who you can meet in your church, in your school, in your area. Now you'll be meeting girls in your country. You'll be meeting girls in around the world. You'll be meeting people where you can actually travel. So your options increase and your choices increase. So you'll obviously make better choices. And through experience, you tend to make better choices. So be glad if you break up. I really pity those relationships where the guy and girl got married at a very young age, because most of the time when they end up getting married at a very young age, that love, that passion, that romance, the freshness of the relationship vanishes after some time, and then it starts becoming very boring, monotonous. and especially for guys, guys want young females. Guys always like young females. There's this gene disposition. That is why you see guys always watch porn with the which says teen experiences sex for the first time, even though the girl is not a teen, she's 18. But men have this perversion towards younger girls. You can't just help it. There is something about watching having a girl as a fantasy, at least as a fantasy. For me, I had that fantasy of having 18-year-olds. Now I don't. I think it's a massive headache. I think a young girl does look beautiful, but I don't have that. Like, oh, go to her. Yeah, she's beautiful. She's nice. That's it. Keep her far, because you know the complications that come with it. And obviously, once you get married, you say, I feel the attraction. Marriage at a certain point, even before when I was married in the first 3 relationships, I kept cheating my partners and having sex. Today, even though I can cheat, I don't want to cheat because it's not worth it. I have my partner. She is my 4th wife, and like that day when I went, she was at home. I went outside to buy something. It was at night, I think 10 o'clock, and I got this girl prostitute. Obviously, she was really beautiful, and she said, do you want you free? Do you want a happy massage? Directly. I could have been there for half an hour, and she could just jerk me off, and nobody would know about it. But I didn't want to do it because I wanted to be honest and truthful. You reach a point. I'll tell you. You'll come to that. You'll come to that. Don't think about it now. You reach that point, and for me, I've reached that point. I just openly talk to my partner, and I tell her, listen, I got this girl. I'm feeling a little horny, or I just want a blowjob. Can you give me a blowjob? So it comes to that. You'll reach there. So the point I was trying to tell you is, if you do get married early, you'll regret it, because after some time the passion goes away. You don't feel the same intensity towards your partner. And men at least look for variety. They look for variety. It's not that they are in love with all these girls, but they like to have sex with different partners. Okay, keep this in mind, at least for men. For women, if the relationship becomes boring, the girl tends to seek for love and affection. And then if they find a new lover who is, who's ready to rekindle the passion, who's ready to put his tongue in different spots and have sex that crazy way, and literally, be a savage in bed. The girl tends to feel, wow, somebody wants me. He ravages for my body. He wants my body. He wants me. So it feels nice. And I know this because a lot of women have opened up to me about it. I have clients from all across the globe. So if you get married early, you'll have this problem. So please don't get married early. If you have to live in together. But keep in mind, youngsters, keep in mind your relationship will most probably break up. Keep this in mind. Now, that is the first point that I want you to keep in mind. Second one is, please do not sacrifice your career. Please don't destroy your education. Have fun, have sex, do whatever you want, but please do not destroy your education, because your partners will come and go. There will be multiple partners. Do not make any decision that ruins your education. Please don't think of suicide, because if you suicide, you die, she's going to fuck around, or he's going to go out and continue with their life. Please don't harm yourself. And more importantly, please don't harm the other person. I have had instances where youngsters told me, I'm going to throw acid on her face, I'm going to break her face with this knife, or I'm going to slice her face with this knife. Don't do that. Sadly, it doesn't work out for both the persons. The girl ends up scarred. The guy ends up jailed for 20 years, and he regrets it for the rest of his life. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Speak to somebody, open up to someone, go out there, talk to some adult, share your feelings, your fears, your anger. There are people to help you. So don't take law into your hands, or don't destroy anyone, okay? And please don't mess up your education. The next one is, like I told you, speak to somebody, go out there. Also, another technique, if you're experiencing breakup, is write down. Not type, write down. When you write it down, it's therapeutic. It kind of helps you release your emotions. If you need to cry, cry it out. I'll tell you, these breakups are painful because the one breakup that really impacted me, that really destroyed me, was my breakup with Anita, the girl from Mangalore, who I tattooed her face here. I ended up with a depression for literally, I think, how many years? 4 years, yeah. And just mind you, Anita is not her real name. Okay, Anita is not her real name. I don't want to give you her real identity. So I broke up with her for 4 years, and it was, uh, it was quite intense. I'll tell you, I went through a severe bout of depression. Now you need help. I didn't know whom to approach at that time, but yes, there were some kind people who I'd cry to every single day, and I made some major decisions, blunders. Some of the major decision blunders that I made was I started doing exercise like very heavy. I damaged my body. I took steroids and I was doing very heavy, very, very heavy. Damaged my disc. I got into plenty of other relationships, which was okay, but which is all right, which is all right. But then again, be careful because you end up with an emotional rebound and you start being close to somebody else whom you should not. And there again, you repeat history. It takes you down a rabbit hole where you keep getting depressed, and that can really destroy you. So please be careful about that. And I think another thing what you need to be careful about is the fact that um, these episodes of your life can be a real game changer. They can really impact you. They can destroy you, at times if you're not careful. And last but not the least, I would say that I know this might be controversial, but have multiple partners. Seriously, have multiple partners. Keep having one relationship after another. Keep trying multiple partners. Because what happens is, it's like this. For example, I give you one iPhone. I just give you an iPhone. Your whole experience will be iPhone. But if I give you an iPhone the first year, I give you a Samsung Galaxy the next year, I give you a Google Pixel the third year, I give you Nokia the fourth year. Now you have had experience with so many different kind of phones, and then at some point you'll say that, listen, I've tried different phones. I think this phone would be the best. And even if you settle down back to an iPhone, then you have a different model every year. So then obviously every year you'd want to change the model, change the color, change the accessories. And, so this is the part where you'll satisfy all your fantasies. But eventually you'll come to one point where it's saying, man, enough of upgrades. I don't want to upgrade anymore. I don't want to change anymore. I'm happy with this. And that's the point you really should get married. That's the point. Because as long as for a guy or girl, as long as you feel invincible, as long as you feel you can do anything, you can get any partner, it's always a bad thing. Like now, today, I don't want to upgrade from my iPhone 6s. I'm pretty happy. New phones came out. I didn't want to change. The only reason I did buy a Samsung Galaxy is because, the phone slowed down. I could not work. So to keep another thing in mind, when your partner becomes a liability, where you fight with each other day and night, it becomes a liability. And keep this in mind. This is one thing about marriage, I'll tell you. Initially, you will look the best. She will look the best. You'll dress up to your best. She'll dress up to her best. You'll be on your best Sunday behavior. Very nice, very caring. You'll pull the chair. She'll be at her most attractive and most loving. She'll cook for you, do everything. After a couple of months, the guy gets up, he doesn't have a shower. He doesn't even shave his body hair or his pubes. And he's smelling and he doesn't even brush his teeth. And he says, come on, give me a blowjob. The girl is like, before she would work, do exercise to be slim and starve herself to keep those, that curvy figure. But obviously, after she gets a baby, the body's cut open and there she has a lot of fat. And, now her priority is not looking sexy. It's a baby. And she's not very interested to, take your nonsense, to listen to you. Both of you, familiarity gets in, and they say familiarity breeds contempt, and you both don't start liking each other. So a lot of complications take place. I'll tell you, marriage is a game changer. You realize what is familiarity. You realize what is so many other factors like designing the alliance as to how you both can agree on terms and conditions. The smart marriages are one where you literally and openly discuss, if we break up, this is my share, this is your share, this is how we split ways. This is how we move away from each other. You need to choose a partner who is not your ideal partner. Rather, you need to choose someone who you give up something and you agree on something. You cannot have both of you being equal. I'll tell you, it really mess up your head. Like, for example, I'll tell you, my wife, she doesn't make noise. She doesn't disturb me. She does housework. She doesn't go to work. Her only focus is to take care of me. She doesn't ask me anything. She doesn't want to spend money. She's totally submissive and she listens to whatever I say. Obviously, many of you would say, "Oh, you're taking a slave. You're taking a housemaid." But yeah, this is what works for me. And what works for her, she just wanted a guy who's totally committed to her, doesn't shout, scream at her, and that's it. That's all she wanted. So I chose someone whom I knew I could handle. I choose someone, being at 40, I choose someone in their 20s so I could control her, which is very important because in a relationship, you can't have both of them be leaders. Then you'll clash. There will be ego clashes. There will be problems. In our case, we don't have any ego. We don't have problems. I'm a very proud guy. I have a massive ego, and she doesn't have an ego at all. So we agreed. So you would have to be very realistic with these demands. You might hate me for saying this right now. You might think, oh, what a fucking prick, Loy, you are. As you go through life, you meet all these relationships and these complications, and you'll understand. That is why there are so many single parents, there are single mothers, single men, single women, broken relationships. You can't help it. I'll tell you, you'll get to all this. So if I were to encapsulate for you youngsters, I'll just tell you, please do not take any relationship during your college or school days very seriously because it'll complicate life. Remember this, you will break up. You will have different experiences. So keep yourself open for that. Don't ever take revenge, hurt or harm the person, or especially put on social media. Don't name and shame them. It's not good. Today, it's a criminal offense on social media. Things can spiral out of control. Keep in mind, the family upbringing is very, very important. Whether you know it or not, if you can't adjust with the family, you don't like the family, and the family doesn't like you, you can never get along. Marriage is not meant for you. Don't even get there. Live-in is better. And girls, please do not end up having babies. You start having babies, you'll break up. Guys, please practice safe sex. STDs are a reality, both for girls and guys. STD is a major, major, major reality. And last, if not the least, I would just tell you, have an adult, have somebody to guide you, so that, you don't end up doing anything stupid that you'll regret. And if I were to, just end by saying this is, you have one life. There are 6 billion people out there. You'll always find someone. It's not like you'll not find. So if you seek, you will find. So I just wanted to share this with you with regards to teenagers, doing all these crazy things. Don't cut your hand. Don't cut your stuff. Don't tattoo the name of your lover. Please don't tattoo. Tattoos will remain. Lovers will change. That's how they say. Tattoos are permanent. Lovers are not. Okay. So I hope this deals and answers with all your questions and queries. I just wanted to share this with all of you. And in case any one of you who's an adult, not youngsters, you want to contribute to my channel, please go to PayPal. You can contribute to PayPal, Machedo.com, $1, $5, $10, whatever. If you want professional advice, I do it professionally. You need to pay money for that. Go to Think Person Branding. I hope this answers your question and takes care of any emotions, thoughts, or feelings you have. Bye from Machedo.com. Please do comment. Let me know your thoughts. Like the video and love to hear from you. This is me saying goodbye for now. Take care.